Hello, Public Access presents All About Books with Paul Kinkade.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Paul Kinkade, and you find yourself at All About Books, the show where we read them so you don't have to. Before we get to tonight's guest, I want to give a big Public Access TV All About Books farewell to our associate here at the station. Debbie Dinkle will no longer be with us, but up until 2 this afternoon, she was the one responsible for booking our guests. Goodbye, Debbie. We wish you all the best. Now, my guest this evening is none other than, well, it's somebody you met before, and I sad to say someone I've met before, Mr. Jack Fonay.
All right. I'm afraid we're going to go to this. The same
5 hours
we
of
went
therapy
last
to
time.
get your name out right, buddy.
All right. Well, it was worth it.
Okay.
You don't have that Debbie's number, do you?
No, I don't.
Oh.
No, I don't. For good reason. She's seen you before. Anyway, since your last book, A Simple Life, our viewer may remember it, you've been busy. You've been really busy.
Mm-hmm.
Writing a new book now. Juan, could we get a shot of that book up here?
Been cooking in the kitchen.
Meal of Fortune. It looks just like you.
Yes.
A Meal of Fortune, in which you write 300-page book on how the little people can eat like kings.
Well, they deserve to eat like kings. You know, the thing is, see, I grew up Irish Catholic in Boston. I had a culinarily deprived childhood. My mother thought spices the way the rest of the world sees hard drugs. I've got to change that. I'm going to be the Prometheus of cooking, handing the fire of knowledge down to the struggling masses.
Yeah, more
who
like
just eat mashed potatoes or go to Burger King or something else, and they need something better in their life. They need something richer in their
Prometheus
life. And I'm the one to do it.
of culinary?
Yes.
More like the Titanic. Anyway, I understand you first became interested in cooking during your stint at the A.P. Winthrop Boys Academy when you were a little lad.
Well, the wrong things got cooked there.
Is that why you
But
stepped
yes,
in?
Yeah. A lot of those people are doing time now. They graduated to the big universities with the fences around them. Yes.
I've seen, our crack research analyst, Gary Gilchrist, did have a photo or two of your academy there. Wire all the way around. Was that to keep you inside or other people out?
Keeping the pesky tourists out. That's what it was.
Okay.
It's really what it was, yeah.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about your book.
Oh, thank God.
How many recipes do you have in this book?
632.
632. Every single one of them you've supposedly designed for the little people to partake. How is this possible?
Well, because there's a wealth of things that they could shove into their faces if they had a mind to.
Yes.
You know?
But the recipes.
Yes.
The recipes. I have one here. Fried veal feet.
Well,
Excuse me. I'll just read a little bit of your instructions here. Wash the feet, scald them, bone the upper part, and take out the shank bone. You'd have to be a surgeon just to start out.
no, it just all falls away once you boil it good. You see, the thing is that I focus on the lesser cuts of meat, the cheaper cuts.
The lesser cuts?
Because these are the people who just, they don't deserve, well, I don't want to say they don't deserve, they aren't able to afford the good stuff. So these are recipes about cooking with the bad stuff and making it good, making it taste good, look good.
Have you ever cooked with the bad stuff?
Well, I cook with the bad stuff all the time. Things immediately go bad when I start cooking with them.
That doesn't surprise me, Mr. Fonay. Fonay.
Don't start that again.
You see, you deal with the lesser cuts of meat. How about in your chapter called Let the Meat Cake? You have one cake that requires 24 eggs. Now, some people, some poor people, they couldn't afford 24 eggs. How do you expect them to make this cake?
Well, the thing is that once they use 24 eggs in a cake, they're going to die soon anyway. What's good is their money?
Arteries?
What are they going to spend their money on? Yeah, heart surgery, I guess they could spend it on. But, you know, life is tough, you know. And my meat cake in there.
Your meat cake?
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you get all the part that they cut off from the hamburger, all the scraps, but when you put them together and you put a nice layer of fat around them, and you could dye the fat, color it
So are you
any
saying
way you want to. You could put candles in it.
So are you saying after you pack it all together, you just lay over it?
Oh, no.
Not that layer of fat?
Not that kind of fat.
Okay.
Yes.
So have you actually eaten this meat cake?
For a minute.
For a minute?
Yeah.
And then what did you do?
I excused myself from the table for a little while.
How fast?
Pretty fast.
Pretty fast. Okay.
But I have a delicate
Constitution?
constitution. That's the word, constitution. Because
So does our viewer, but they're tuned in again to
they
see
wouldn't be
you.
viewing this if they had a delicate constitution.
Okay. Tell us about some of your other popular recipes that you've, I guess, guinea pigged on some of the people who work for you.
Oh, it's fillet of retriever.
As in golden retriever?
Well, it can be a lab. But, you know, that's you know, I mean, once they're, I mean, they only live about 12, 15 years after that. What do you do with them? You know, they're dead dogs all over the place. Why? They just go to waste.
Is this like roadkill stew?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Or do you just go to the
pound? You
pound?
don't have to kill them on the road, but, you know.
Do you just go to the pound and take your
Yeah.
pick?
Something, well, you kind of, you know when they're coming. You know, the doggy death row.
Yeah,
you know,
doggy
you know.
death row.
So-
I guess so. If you go to the pound and
Yeah.
get them out there, it probably disappoints you that you have to get your dinner vaccinated and tagged before they let you take it
Well,
home.
you see, it's better than the roadkill thing. The roadkill thing, you have tire treads. And what are you going to do with tire treads? They're just tough, hard to chew, and, you know, it's just not worth it.
Well, speaking of things hard to chew, how many cows had to die for your coat?
There's one dying every minute, I'll tell you. I think I still hear this mooing.
Mooing?
Yes.
You hear this mooing?
When I close my eyes, I can hear it.
Well, I heard it too, and I don't care to hear it again. Thank you. Please tell us. I have to bring this other recipe up. It's something where chaufroid of quails, and before we go any further, Juan, we have a photo of the final recipe up there. Thanks. If you'll notice in the photograph that you supply in your book, the quails, after you chop them in half and stack them around, it looks like 6 or 7 friar tucks at the top of a cake. You know,
That's a better name for it. I'm going to use that. I like that. Friar tucks.
quails.
That, yes.
That's sick. That's just sick. So please tell us that you're not going to write any more books.
I have the thirst for writing.
You have the thirst for writing?
Yes. So maybe the next book will be about thirsty stuff. Maybe the next book will be about drinking. That would be good.
I don't think you need to write about that.
Well, I needed to write about anything else. So.
Well,
But
that's probably why it turned out the way that it did. Mr. Fonay,
Yes. Say it with me now.
Yeah, I don't have to. We want to thank you for coming to the show this evening, and we wish you all the best with your book. I understand your initial print run is 5 copies. Good luck trying to sell them. And
That's just to whet the appetite. You know, if you give them stuff, then they feel like, well, what do I need that for? But if you hold it back, you just give them a little taste, just a little taste.
and you know what?
You
A little
see?
taste of you and of your book is plenty.
Well, that's true of a lot. That's true of champagne or caviar or anything.
Okay.
Little goes a long way.
That's all for now, folks. We want to say good night to Mr. Fonay, and we'll see you back next time with a much better author and book.
No, that's not better.
Oh, mes amis, you have been watching All About Books with Paul Kinkade. Et c'est très bon, is it not? You can also find the Jack Fonay books at the following locations. The AP Winthrop Boys Academy, where you can join permanent residents Fluffy, Sneezy, and Dopey as they cook up some special trouble. And Madame Olga's free-floating bakery, currently serving at the unofficial border crossing between Latvia and Lithuania. Oh, don't forget Osaki's book vending machine, conveniently located in Sukiyaki's pawn shop and mini mart in Okinawa, Japan. See you there. Uh-huh.